All right, guys. Before I get to this next topic, I want to talk about. God, why am I even talking about this? Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, like the video, especially if you're on YouTube and Rumble. Like it helps us out a lot. And thank you so much to all the people that watch us and stuff like that. You know, I don't think I don't appreciate you. I appreciate all y'all do, man. Just watching it matters. Liking it matters. Like liking it helps us out a lot. So Jasmine Crockett, like y'all know who Jasmine Crockett is. Like my mom is the same person that told me one day. I think before she had her surgery on her carpal tunnel surgery, she said Jasmine Crockett remind me of Martin Luther King. I'm like, what? Apparently, my mama, I guess since mama's a liberal, I guess Facebook pushes out liberal content, and I guess Jasmine Crockett popped up on there. I'm like, yeah, that's just disrespectful. Like Martin Luther King was no Democrat, mama. Don't compare her to Martin Luther King because she says something because she don't like Trump or she says something that's nice. Like like she's cosplaying. Like it's all a script. It's an act. Like Savvy Sav says. Shout out to Savvy Sav for these topics too. She talked about this too. I think last week. So yeah, it's all an act. I ain't tell my mama that because she won't listen. Like what they with boomers, man. You can't not argue with them when it comes to this. Like they stuck in their own ways or something. But anyway, man, like so yeah, Jamie Crockett, y'all seen her dancing at the well, I think they were going to the State of the Union shit. She was dancing to it and y'all seen her arguing with Marjorie Taylor Greene and some other woman. Yeah, like it's just all an act, bro. Like politics is especially within the federal government. It's like an act. It's political theater. So this guy right here, um, um, that I'm talking about, his name is Sheldon Daniels. He is a black Republican and he's running against Jasmine Crockett. Um, and then there's some other shit that I didn't even know about Jasmine Crockett, which is crazy. But yeah, so I'm finna play this video, um, and break it down as I go.
Is called the President of the United States an enemy to this country. Why? Because he did what any strong leader would do. He demanded respect for the office and for the American people. So let's get one thing straight. President Trump didn't kick out Zelensky just to make a scene. He set a precedent. If you come to our house, our White House, you don't show up with demands. You show up.
But I have a question for this guy. Well, why didn't Trump use the same energy towards Netanyahu? Was Trump the same guy that pulled out a chair for Netanyahu? Oh, King Netanyahu, I got to slide a chair for you. You know. So yeah, miss me with that shit, bro. Like, come on, bro. Already, man. Like, um, let me continue.
With diplomacy. No more blank checks. No more begging. No more business as usual where American
Whoa. Say I had to call out the bullshit. No matter which side of the political spectrum. See, this is a Republican right here, a black Republican. Nah, nah, dude. Nah, he just gave Israel a blank check not that long ago. Why you? Nah, you call out Ukraine basically in this video, but why you not calling out Israel, which is killing brown people? Like you black, so I mean, I'm just saying. But I'm pretty sure this is a guy who say all of them Hamas terrorists. Gotta get rid of all the Hamas terrorists. Like people like him. Like yeah, but yeah. Let me continue.
taxpayers foot the bill while foreign leaders call all the shots.
Oh
The fact
God.
that Jasmine crashed
But Netanyahu doing that though. You ain't saying nothing about him, but you said something about Zelensky. I mean, but let me continue.
out Crockett is more offended by this than she is by billions of our tax dollars disappearing overseas tells you everything that you need to know about her priorities. She's not standing up for TX30. She's standing up for that same corrupt, globalist agenda that's been draining this country and these people dry. If I were in Congress today, here's what I'd be focused on: getting answers on where our money is going, demanding accountability, and making sure that American interests.
See, this is when talk is cheap. Like, dude, like soon as your ass get in that motherfucker, your ass could be bending the knee like that. You gonna have your head down like this. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like, yeah, you think the Republican Party, like they just as corrupt as Democrats, is gonna let you have accountability? Oh God, like I don't know this guy. I just now searched him up. Like the guy that's running against Jasmine Crockett. I'm gonna tell you something. Like, you know, like if you thinking you gonna go into Congress, thinking like you gonna actually like ask questions and do shit, ask the squad about that. Like LC got down and threatened to lose her seat because she protested Nancy Pelosi's office. So yeah, good luck with that guy. But I know you ain't gonna do shit. You gonna be just like the rest of them. And when soon them damn lobbyists come to your office, then you gonna pull out share for them and say how much can they send me? You gotta have that cash on you. So oh God, talk is cheap, man. This is what I get out of this. I can say a lot of other things about this guy, call him stuff, but no, I can't do that because if I call him something that's true, then I gotta call Jamie Crockett, which but I let it continue.
Come first every single time. This is the time for nationalism. Jasmine would rather virtue signal on Twitter than actually do her job. She'd rather go on TV and talk than do her job. So no, our president is not an enemy to
Hell, that's all of them. All of them rather do that.
the country. The real threat is weak leadership, reckless spending, politicians that put foreign governments like Mexico, Canada, Ukraine ahead of the interest of.
See, y'all notice this guy. He didn't say Israel. Notice that, right? He said others. Ukraine. I mean, Canada, Mexico. I mean, what? How we sending money to those countries? But anyway, yeah, yeah, major red flag. you know.
Of the American people. TX30 deserves better. America deserves better. Let's bring some common sense to Washington in 2026. I'm Sheldon Daniels. I'm the candidate who's going to take Jasmine Crockett out of Congress and send her back to the beauty salon where she belongs. Jasmine Crockett
Damn.
is for they, them. Sheldon Daniels is for you.
Wow. Yeah, this guy is he's a homophobe too. But yeah, so that's that. Now let me get to the next one. Give me a second here, guys. So yeah, that's that. So this guy, he gonna run against Jasmine Crockett, I guess. So this is the next one. This is the next story here. I'm finna share my screen in a second. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on, give me a second, guys. Still. Okay. Now I'm finna share my screen again. Sorry if I'm being sloppy. I'm just have no energy today. I don't know why. So this right here is interesting right here too. Now it says Jasmine Crockett received $16,000 in political contributions from an elderly retired couple. And it says Sheldon Daniels, who was running against Jasmine Crockett, went to their house to confirm the contributions, and they had no idea what the charges were. So yeah, so I'm finna play this video. Oh shit. Let me see. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. So yeah,
So
here
I'm,
we go.
all right, guys. So I'm about to go to Randy Best's house, introduce myself, and just ask them straight up if they contributed to Jasmine's campaign, if they contributed that amount, and why they like her so much, because I might be able to learn a little bit of something while I'm up here. I'm way up here in Collin County. I'm in Plano, Texas. Very far from TX30. It's very peculiar that somebody up here would give that much money to a candidate in our district. Maybe they have a special.
This guy, I mean, yeah, but you know that people give money um that don't live in the district, right? Like these lobbyists, they give these candidates money and they don't live in their district. So yeah, like I had to say that as a side note. I guess he think you know, corruption is corruption.
Connection to the district. Let's go find out. I'm not gonna film them. I'm not gonna put any faces or anything on there. I'm just gonna have my camera down at the ground. I'm gonna be standing in a public, area in open air. I'm just, recording what's going on around me. Um, let's see what happens. All right, here's the house. Here's the house right here. Here we go. How do you do, ma'am?
No soliciting.
I'm not here. I'm not a solicitor. I'm Attorney Sheldon Daniels.
Yeah,
Is there a Randy Best who lives here?
That's my
it's just soliciting. Yeah.
husband.
Yeah. I just want to verify. Are you guys aware that you were charged over $16,000 last year? Yeah.
What?
I have a list of charges. I'm just here to verify that you guys know about this.
16,000.
$16,240 in political contributions to a candidate named Jasmine Crockett. Do you remember that at all?
One thing weird about that too is I thought that you can only give a certain amount to a candidate. I thought there were limits to that. Maybe that's packs. I don't know how this. Well, I kind of know how it worked, but yeah, yeah, like they elderly too. I don't know whether they meant to give $6 or $60 or $600. Which $600, like wow, like come on now. But you know, out $16,000 to Jasmine Crockett's campaign. Oh my God, bro. Um, Hell, you think for that amount of money, shit, hell, they get a front seat to our office and shit. Treat them, take them to dinner with that money, shit. But all right, guys, let them continue.
Not. Does your husband remember that at all?
I don't know. He's on the road on his way to Colorado.
Okay. It says here that he's not employed. Is he employed now?
No, we're retired.
Okay. I can leave this with you if you want. It's if you. It's got your information on it.
Yeah, you can just leave it on the table.
Yes, ma'am. You mind if I take a picture?
Go ahead.
All right. Thank you. Okay, guys. So I just drove by the home of this Randy Best guy. This guy, he's a 73-year-old retiree, unemployed. He and his wife, I guess they just travel around in an RV or something. I don't know. But he's on the road. His wife answered the door. She said that they had no idea what these charges were. And they had no idea that they were charged $16,000 or that they are responsible for $16,000 in political contributions to Jasmine Crockett. Yet she has them listed as political contributors. Now, mind you, I'm way up here in Plano. I'm in a totally different county. I'm in Collin County right now. The only reason why I'm even able to do this is because I practice law all over North Texas and I drive all over. So I know North Texas very well, Collin County, Dallas County, Tarrant.
All right, guys. So yeah, so that's allegedly, I mean, maybe they made a mistake, gave her too much money. Maybe they saw her on Facebook like my mama, to be honest with you, and they decided to, hey, I'm gonna donate to her. Get her what, $6 or some shit, like $60 or something like that. Then I guess wait a minute, $16. What I'm talking about? $16 or something like that. And then I guess they in too many zeros and said $16,000. Jeez, and then they retired too. Like, bro, when you retire, you're on a fixed income. Um, my thing was about that is whoever like controls the contributions that come in from like, I wouldn't say these grassroots donations, but they kind of are like people like just a regular person donating money to a politician. Like my thing is, should you make sure that they validate it? Like if it's a lot of money like that, I said anything over $500 or some shit. Like my thing is, I'll make sure like I'll reach out to them some kind of way. Say you meant to give $16,000. Like they took that motherfucking money and God knows what the hell Jasmine Crockett did with it. So yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. Um, I'm pretty sure he's talking like he so yeah. I understand. This guy, he's running against Jasmine Crockett. He trying to trying to find something to dig on her. But there's a lot of stuff he could go on, which I'm about to get to in a minute. Um, so yeah, that's that on Twitter. Now I'm finna go to YouTube because yeah, um, yeah, like Jasmine Crockett, man, like she's not what you think she is, man. She's really not. Let me see. Give me a sec, guys. See it. Let me see. Share my screen here. Um, Now, this the first time I heard of this YouTube channel. Shout out to Sabby Sabs again. You know how to give her credit. Credit due. She the first one to talk about this in thorough detail. Um, yeah, yeah, this is what 3 years ago when they had her on. I think yeah, they had her on 3 years ago. Some kind of walkout or something happened at the state capitol of Texas or some shit. And now I'm going to show you how Jasmine Crockett and on politics. Here we go.
They would rather just prevent you from voting in order to keep things the way they are. But we're not going to have that. So without further ado, we are going to welcome in the representative of the 100th district in the Lone Star State, Jasmine Crockett. Welcome to Generational Change.
Hi, guys. How are y'all?
Hi, it's so nice to meet you. I was just watching you on the show yesterday or 2 days ago, and I texted him like, we got to get this girl. We got to get her on the show. And then I'm like, oh, she'll never respond. So then I called my friend Ina Minhares.
Yes.
Yes. And I'm like, okay, I could probably get Ina to come on. But then I knew that you were sort of leading this thing. So, and then you responded. I was so excited. It's so nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. I apologize. We literally are just leaving a dinner with a congresswoman. And so I'm on a bus.
No, it's all good.
But I make sure I keep my headphones ready and my phone ready so that I can do whatever interviews I need to do. So thanks so much for doing this, you guys.
Now, notice the way she talked, guys. So how she talked that uppity, high-end voice, the uppity voice. Like I noticed that by hearing the way she talked. Like yeah, the same Jasmine Crockett that y'all see that she rough dog, like the person my mama think that Jasmine Crockett is, she's not that person. But so I played that little bit of spell right there. Now let me get to the next one. Sabby Sab, shout out to her. She gonna break down. She gonna expose who Jasmine Crockett really is. So here we go, guys. Let me let her cook. Let her cook.
It's to convince the voters that they're going to do something for you because they look like you, but they're not. They are bought and paid for. And I don't see Hakeem Jeffries trying to push for any type of fight to improve the Democratic Party. He'll push back against the Republican Party. But when it comes to like the working class people and the minimum wage, all of these things that people need just to make a basic living here in the United States, that's not what they're paid to do.
I think you nailed it. They're bought and paid for. That's the end. That's really the end of the day. What matters, they're bought and paid for. I am sad about the Jasmine Crockett thing because I remember when she was in this Texas legislature and led that walkout, and we actually had her on the show for doing that. She led a walkout of the Texas legislature so that they didn't have enough people to pass this anti-choice legislation, and it was a badass move. So I'm like, all right, cool, let's get her on the show. We had her on the show, and I found her so inspired, from that. And then when she got into Congress, I'm like, cool, like that's really cool.
And then she came on. Then she came on again when she was in Congress.
And again, she's been nice to me. She's been good to me, but it's been very disappointing to watch the trajectory from someone who led a walkout.
Yeah, I mean, listen. Just like AOC, remember she went on independent media. She did her rounds. She went on Glenn Greenwald's show, Jimmy Dore and other people. Then you notice once she got her foot inside that door on Capitol Hill, she went away from, as they say, talking to people like them. See, like people use you for gain. Like, yeah, they use you. Like, hey, to build up their portfolio. I guess people say, yeah, we go on the small channels and we spread our word out because we actually want to help people. Then a lot of these motherfuckers say they want to help people, then they become career politicians and don't give a shit about independent media anymore, unless you lick their boots, like i.e. Sam Cedar does. That's why he have AOC on there. Like he licks AOC's boots. He shine her shoes. So, and a lot of independent media like us and Savvy like we ain't doing that shit. Like we'll call your ass out. All right, so let's get back to it, man. Like hey, if I was there, I told you so. Like, hey, that's what they do.
Albeit on an issue that's easy to get behind. But that was the issue. But that was pretty ballsy thing to do. They let down and risk getting. It was ballsy. So I don't know. I find her like very disappointing.
And much like Alex, it's the same thing. I tried to reach out to Jasmine not too long ago, and just kind of be like, hey, would you be willing to come back on the show?
Well, yeah. It always happens that way.
That's what happens because they cannot be confronted with the reality of what the problem is. The problem is our failed political and economic system. That's what it is. And they cannot be confronted with that because they immensely benefit from it.
For anyone struggling with ear ringing, do not drink.
Just like Alex is in a situation where if they simply play their cards right, they've got that seat for 30 years. Like they don't have to do anything. They just kind of have to.
It's all a game. Yeah, see, you pretend like you really care and you want to help people. Then you heard what he said. Like he reached out to her a team or whatever. Say, hey, you want to come back on? And crickets. Like that. That's what they do. I mean, let me let it continue.
Mug it up for the cameras, if you will. Kind of like how Senator Murphy, who was trying to see if he could find his lane in the progressive area, that didn't work out too well too quickly. They've got all the smoke for Trump, but they had none of it for Biden, especially when it came to Palestine. And so when this happens, and I'm sure you're very familiar with our...
Exactly. Like now, since, Trump is got blood on his hands, now some of them will come out and say, hey, what Trump doing ain't right. He's massacring innocent women and children. When to us, we've been telling you fools that your president, Biden, at the time was doing the same thing. Like, oh my God, man. But yeah, let him continue.
Progressive whisperer when it comes to corporate media clips, case study QB. He really does an amazing job of grabbing this relevant stuff. So when somebody like the supposed leader in the House of the Democratic Party says there's nothing we can do, well, if you want to talk about the worst thing that Trump is doing in his administration on the domestic side, we know on the foreign policy side, it's clearly Palestine. But on the domestic side, it's what he's doing with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And of course, he's going to gut that to shreds. So this is what's going on.
The Trump administration shutting down the country's top consumer watchdog, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, basically just closing it. Every worker there was ordered to stay home. CNN's Vanessa Yurkevich is with us now with the latest here. What's going on?
So these employees, they get an email saying that they're not going to be showing up to the office, and they're also being instructed not to do any more work as it relates to the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, which of course, as we know, is exactly what it sounds like, to protect everyday Americans from financial fraud.
The only good thing that came out of the Biden administration was the improvements of the NLRB. And so we listen to us, and they shouldn't. The reality, because that's, I mean, between our word,
cutting all these things, and he had this, and then we're doing that, and we're going to get to the military.
would take
Well,
aspect of somebody like motives and the interests of working people.
I think the difference here, you see them doing that, but again, to their money again, they are doing exactly a billionaire president, and then we have a billionaire. We're going to call him co-president.
Ulterior motives and the interests of working people. That's my thought.
Had to skip.
That's right. This is the problem with billionaire money, right? So we have a billionaire president, and then we have a billionaire. We're going to call him co-president, or we call Elon Musk co-president. But it's just the billionaire money again. They are doing exactly what they said they were going to do. They said they were going to go in and cut all the spending under the federal government, and you see them doing that. But again, to your point about the Pentagon, that is something that you probably should have started with. I agree with them cutting the Pentagon budget. But I think the difference here is that this is all out in the open, right? So if the Democratic Party didn't take billionaire money, if they didn't take money from like Bill Gates and like George Soros, et cetera, they could really heavily push back on this and say, well, unlike you, we're the party that does not take billionaire money. But they can't say that because they also take billionaire money. The difference that you're seeing this time around is that this is happening out in the open, and Trump has no filter. So he just says exactly like what's on his mind. He's like, yeah, we're going to do this too. We're doing that or whatever. But I've been trying to explain to people for years that billionaire money is a problem, and that billionaires, I don't think billionaires should be allowed to run for office. In my opinion, I don't think they should be able to run for president, Congress. That's just my take. But we have no limits or anything against that here. So that's how we end up in this situation. I don't understand. Again, I feel like the Democratic Party, if they were more proactive about the money, because that's what it always leads back to. If they were more proactive about the Wall Street money, the corruption, the military industrial complex, all of these things together, and if they would have made that push towards that, which Bernie was telling people about 2 campaigns in a row, then they really would have a solid leg to stand on. But now it's just kind of like, are you guys going to stop taking billionaire money? No, you're not. So what are you going to do? And I think another thing that has been brought to people's attention is just how much the president can actually do via executive order. And we look back at Biden's presidency, even Obama's presidency, Bill Clinton, et cetera, and we think about all the things that they actually could have done if they wanted to because they were president. So we're seeing here, it's like, it's embarrassing in a sense, because Biden and Kamala, they beat Donald Trump in 2020. And it's almost like they beat him and then they kind of just took a step back. It's like they didn't really take hold of that moment and say, now we're going to show you what we can do for the American people and not the billionaire class.
Exactly. I mean to let it play that long. That's my mistake. But, you heard a lot of good stuff. Yeah. Yeah, man. So Jasmine Crockett to, Trump, no matter who, like, none of these people give a shit about you. That's the point of this. That other dude, he's not gonna give a shit about you. He's claiming that he's gonna hold the government accountable for all this money going out to these foreign countries. But yeah, okay, so we done with that. Shout out to Savage Sab. She always does the damn thing. She should be invited on every fucking independent media show out there. So let's go to Jasmine Crockett's Wikipedia page. Yeah, like all the people that they Jasmine Crockett is, she understand black folks. She understand the black woman struggle, the black folks culture. Let's go to that Wikipedia page right quick. Like this will tell you everything you need to know. Let me see. So yeah. So she's from. Let me see. Let me go to her life here. She was born in St. Louis. It says she attended Mary Institute in St. Louis Country Day School. And Wazakin, if I'm saying it right. And according to Sabby herself, shout out to her, she said Those are boarding schools. Those are not regular public schools. So yeah. So the Jabba Crockett that you heard earlier, like that's the real Jabba Crockett. This Jabba Crockett, she played the Kendrick Lamar music, dancing to the State of the Union address and all that shit. Like that's fake, bro. That's not real.